Imagine. Not to say there aren't difficulties, as could arise with any child. Typical children may fall ill, suffer from brain injury, have learning disabilities, suffer from debilitating diseases, cancers, etc. Close your eyes and imagine your son or daughter, sister or brother, getting into a nearly fatal car crash. Your son's car starts to spin out of control. Your child struggles frantically to get the 2-ton missile back under control after a horrible spin-out. The moment he nearly regains control, he loses it again, even quicker this time. He cannot get a full handle back. When his demolished car comes to a rest, he's ejected and is on the ground. EMTs work desperately to get him to speak, but can get no response. Your son lies in critical condition in the hospital as the doctor looks you in the eye and tells you, your son has some brain damage. Think about how you might feel. Let it soak in. How do you feel? Scared? Fear breeds ignorance. The doctor might even negligently tell you your son is experiencing great pain and he feels it would be best to end his fabricated suffrage. Is your child still a part of you? Is he still your son? Would you turn your back on him? Or would you fight for him, even if he were damaged somehow? Most people would yowl an enthusiastic and loud yes if asked if they would fight for their child. Would you even slightly consider euthanasia or giving up and terminating your son? Guess what? A baby with Down syndrome is no different. A diagnosis before birth of Down syndrome, or another trisomy, might lead doctors to tell parents the child's handicap is not compatible with life. I have a friend who has a 4-year-old son with trisomy 18 who would, and does, vociferously disagree with doctors. Incompatible with life? Her gorgeous, blue-eyed son is quite healthy, crawling around everywhere, rolling when crawling is tricky, giggling every time mom or dad walks into the room. She would tell you, as I tell you, that frequently such medical statements are entirely untrue. Doctors fear lawsuits over life. In my heart, I think society needs a lesson in moral civilization. One thing that makes me so angry that I need to figure out where to hide the body is the use of the word retard. Never use the R word again. The word retarded is demeaning and inconsiderate. When members of my own family told me I was too sensitive to the open use of this word, no, I'm not. The word is offensive and derogatory, especially when used decades ago to describe children like my beautiful son. All of us have limitations. It is simply a part of life. Stupidity is not lacking knowledge. It's having knowledge and refusing to use it. Loss of ridiculing vocabulary creates a more accepting attitude for all people. Language forms attitudes, and attitudes form actions. Pledge to use more respectful, people-first language at www.r-word.org/r-word-y-pledge.aspx #.u3zrghku9jo. I am now love-struck by babies, children, and adults with Down syndrome. People often stare at Josiah when we're in public. It might be solely because he has Down syndrome, but I also think it's because he's so darn cute. I've learned that having a disability doesn't mean one does not possess any ability, but not everyone understands this simplistic and ethical system. My son is my son first, and everything else secondary.